Ain't they? Like, what? I think it's crazy that there's 16 people watching right now and I only have 2 likes. Do me one favor, hit that like button, double tap the screen, do something. There's been a lot of comments and not enough likes. Send some likes, send some love. Share this with your grandma, with Lottie Dottie, with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Show your auntie, be like, look, this person playing guitar right now. And that's what I need y'all to do. You know what I'm saying? Because what y'all doing? Y'all just watching me do this for myself? If you like it, somebody else will see this. That's what I need to happen. One thing that I really like is open strings. So I'm letting this string ring the whole time. What you mean don't speak? You could get muted. You can get dismissed. Technically, playing is speaking. The instrument is an extension of my voice. Open strings. I'm just letting this string ring the whole time. I actually wrote a song where I have open strings. That's how you do it, though. Every night I pick up my instrument, and when I'm not picking up my instrument, I'm probably on YouTube watching somebody else play my instrument, which makes me pick up my instrument. So hopefully I'm the person that's getting you to pick up your instrument. If you like guitar and if you want to learn guitar, consider subscribing. I post education content all the time, teaching people how to play, like, particularly, you know what I'm saying? I post jam sessions where I'm really just playing things off the top of my head, just like now with this live stream. And I got a Patreon where I organize all that content. I do teach private lessons virtually and physically. Physically, if you in Atlanta, Georgia, you know what I'm saying? But most of y'all ain't in Atlanta, Georgia. I think some of y'all is. Where y'all from? Drop where you from in the comments. You have a blunt. What's your favorite song to play? And this is why I don't be replying to the comments. No, I don't have a blunt. My favorite song to play is the first thing that comes to my mind whenever I pick up the guitar. I want that in C. I want that in E. Shout out to Florida, Flow Rider. Shout out to Washington, Hearts in ATL. Seattle. I was just in Seattle like January, December, 2 years ago. I said just like that was like yesterday. I have no idea what PNW and Whidbey is. As far as jazz goes, I studied a little bit of jazz, studied a little bit of classical, studied a little bit of random stuff, studied a little bit of blues, studied a little bit of band, studied a little bit of gospel. Oh. Pacific Northwest. That makes sense. Shout out to Russia. What? Hey. Mm-hmm. There's always something that I like about all the songs that I be creating. I think I played like 4 of them already. I'm not really doing song requests or like covers too much. I have been playing a couple licks from covers or quick riffs. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I've been playing originals. This original, we call this April Nights. There's 2 reasons why I really like this song. The melody. That walk down is different every time. So the first time, And the third time is that. But the fourth time is this. And here's it from the top. Here's the top. Second time. The third is the first. Oh. Hopefully you heard the fourth. So that's one of the main reasons why I like this song. The second reason why I like this song is the chords. That chord. That is not a chord that's very common. That is a half diminished chord if you know your chords. Most people who would play this, they might default to play something like this. But I ain't want that. So I wanted something that's gonna give more dissonance like this. Yep. And again, these are originals, y'all. If I were to record them and I were to release them, would y'all stream them? That was bad. I hate making mistakes. I don't really hate making mistakes because, you know, mistakes are inevitable. But like the ones that really like it was just obvious that that was a mistake. So you prefer songs that have vocals in it? I prefer stuff without vocals. I feel like music is the beauty of music. You know what I'm saying? Vocals, don't get me wrong, vocals can be musical, but you hear voices all the time, like in conversation. Sometimes when you just really need to like escape from reality, hearing somebody else's voice is not it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. Hearing more voices just makes me like think about more things. But like just hearing music, like I really feel like I'm escaped. Even playing music, like I'm not thinking about the day-to-day minutia the things that trouble me, the thing that's weighing on my heart, because all I'm doing is just allowing my emotions to flow through the instrument. That's really one of the biggest reasons why I play my instrument. It's a release. Ooh. 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 That's what it is. Ooh, I didn't mean to flip the camera. Yeah, that was off the dome, man. It was off the dome. Pick a key, pick a note, improving in that key. Off the dome, Yamaha FG series. Cheaper end model. B minor, B minor. One of my favorite chord progressions that I usually do is a B minor or 1 to the flat 6 to the 4 to the 5. So 1 6 4 5 chord progressions. if it's minor. And then I could end with a 5. I'm gonna transpose this to A minor in a second. I don't really do alternate tunings. I do not really do alternate tunings. Standard tuning. I feel like I really got to lock in with standard tuning. Alternate tuning, sure. I mean, it gives you more flexibility and creativity, so I should experiment more. But as often as I'm playing, sometimes it's easier to just play because I know how to navigate this and I don't have to think. Alternate tunings, it'll require a little bit of thinking. But some people play to it without even thinking because it's just like some of it just makes sense. And it's like experiments and then it's jamming. But to me, it just feels like it's wrong. Like, I'm a skateboarder. I don't know if y'all skateboard, but you know what I'm saying? I skateboard. Alternate tuning is like skating switch. You know what I'm saying? Switch is weird. I'm just gonna be the one to tell you. Some people got that switch jump. And to give you context, most times when you skateboard with one foot in the front, one foot in the back. Switch is when you alternate which foot you're gonna have in the back. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you for watching though. I think I'm gonna dip soon too. Me and my fiance gotta go pick up some equipment. We do rental equipment, and some people rented it. Their party ends at 11:30, so we thought we were leaving at 11. We in Eastern time, Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I'm waiting on her to tell me. But I'm in the living room, so whenever she walks out the room, you're like, well, gotta go. Gotta blast. A minor. What? and two E and three E and four E. One E and two E and three E and four E. One E and two E and three E and four E. One E and two E and three E and four E. One E and two E and three and four E. Rhythmic solfege, man. Rhythmic solfege. So the way how you count your rhythms, one, two, three, four is the tempo. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now I'm playing whole notes because I'm playing 4 counts each chord. So this is 2, 3, 4, a whole note because I'm giving 4 counts to each note. 4, 1, 2, 3. I could subdivide that, or not even subdivide that, but change the rhythm by playing half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I can change that to quarter notes, obviously. That's where I'm playing on the beats. But if I were to subdivide quarter notes, that's when you have eighth notes. So that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. If I were to subdivide even further, so this is when I'm breaking up one beat into 2 clicks. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 2. And I could subdivide that into 4 instead, which is what I was doing. When we subdivide into 4, we say the terms 1 E and a. So 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1, 2. So the rhythm I was playing earlier was 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E, like the letter E, and like the word and percent, you know, ands, like 1 and 2. I don't when you join the two things together, and like the letter A, but sounds like UH. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E. Yep, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. It's just breaking it down however you break it down or whatever number. You know what I'm saying? If y'all are interested in learning more about music content, how music theory works, or any of the things, definitely consider subscribing to the channel. Consider subscribing to my Patreon or joining my Patreon. It's completely free. I post free content on there all the time. I am going to start having exclusive stuff for the people who are paid patrons. But the Patreon is, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I like my house too. You know what I'm saying? But the Patreon is going to have more so like guitar, how to learn guitar, learning content on there. If y'all are interested in a little bit about me, I've been playing guitar all my life. It was actually my first instrument, guitar and piano. Picked it up because my brother was playing it, and he's older than me. And anything you see older siblings do, you like, I want to do that. So He was playing it, and I said I wanted to do it, and this is disgusting. Guess I'm not gonna eat this Starburst. Hopefully this one's good. And look, that one's melted too. Um, I joined the band, so I was in the band world, and I put the guitar down. I played trombone, so a lot of my subscribers saw me playing like trombone fanfares. I don't really. Band was cool when I was in it, but I just knew band would not really be long term. I couldn't imagine myself playing trombone for the rest of my life. And I still play it, don't get me wrong. I still got gigs. Shoot, I got a gig in North Carolina 2 weeks from now. Not North Carolina. Where I'm going. Salt Lake City. 2 weeks from now, playing trombone. So, yeah. What I'm saying though. Picked up the guitar, loved the guitar, fell in love with the guitar, decided to study it at this illustrious university, Tennessee State University. I studied guitar there. They let me know that I really don't know nothing about guitar, and they taught me a thing or two about a thing or two. All I knew was like, yeah, and I was playing my favorite songs. And they were like, yeah, that's impressive, but do you know what you just played? And I had no idea what I just played. So they were teaching me how to know what I'm saying, how to do what I'm doing. If people tell me what to do, how to follow up. So you actually work at Con Selmer. Come on, then. That means you can send me a free trombone. I still play trombone. I teach it for private lessons, and I have these gigs. I'm playing on the cheap Yamaha horn. Ugh, cheap. But it gets me by. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that I would. If the opportunity presents itself, I would do it more, so to speak. So, actually, the NBA's Atlanta Hawks, I was playing for the NBA's Atlanta Hawks. They had a drum line in the horn section, so I was playing for that. You know what I'm saying? Come on, discount. But yeah, and yes, I could explain the circle of fifths. Let me finish my story now. So, picked it up, I picked up guitar. They tricked me into studying it, though, because I thought I was going to study music business. And they were not trying to let me study music business. They didn't offer music business. They offered music with a business pathway, but it wasn't music business. They were like, yeah, this is still performance. And I didn't want to keep playing trombone. So I saw they had a guitar in the corner. I said, could I play that? Could I study that? They said, do you know how to really play it? So I showed them a couple chords. And they were like, sure, you can study this. They let me know I didn't know nothing. I studied it. I got a degree in it. Ever since then, the rest was history. I've been getting gigs. I've been teaching people. You know what I'm saying? I went from private lessons to teaching classes, 50 students in the class, anywhere from like 20 students to 15 students in my class at the high school that I teach at. And then there's now teaching online, where I take all the content that I teach my students online and I teach here. So again, if y'all have questions, we could talk about that. We could talk about anything guitar related, because I genuinely want to share my knowledge with the world. I feel like I was placed on this earth for two reasons. Number one, the arts. Number two, to be of service and to help others. So as long as I'm doing that, then I'm walking in my purpose. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, circle of fifths. That concept is deep. Circle of fifths. That concept is deep. You would have to, in order to understand the circle of fifths, you have to understand your scales by letter name. And the circle of fifths will help you learn your scales by letter name. And this is assuming that you already understand the chromatic scale and the major scale formula. The chromatic scale is all 12 notes of music, A through G, all 7 letters of music plus their accidentals. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, plus the accidentals. A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F sharp, G, G sharp, then back to the top, A. If all of this sounds like foreign language to y'all, then you know. I'll have a real guitar Q&A where I'm actually on the computer. Right now I'm on my cell phone, where I'm on the computer and I'm showing behind the scene and behind the screens or stuff like that, and answer that question. But if you know your chromatic scale and you know how the distance between notes, like whole steps and half steps, and you can figure out the major scale, then you could understand the circle of fifths. So going up 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be the first note of the next scale. Now G is my first note. Now D is my first note. Now A is my first note. And I wasn't even saying letter names. C, D, E, F, G. Now G is my next first note. G, A, B, C, D. Now D is my next first note. D, E, F, G, A. Now A is my next first note. Now the biggest thing about the circle of fifths, it doesn't just tell you like what's going to be your next first note or anything, but it helps you understand how many accidentals are in each key. So C has no accidentals. If you're going in the circle of fifths, now you're adding a sharp. So G, which is the fifth note of C, C, D, E, F, G, has one sharp. So it helps you understand the circle of sharps, helps you understand how many sharps you add to a note. And it's a good practice tool. So after you finish playing in a certain key, you can start going in the circle of fifths. So if you're practicing your scales, you can go a fifth. That is G. 5. Then you go up a fifth. Then a fifth. If you don't understand that stuff, then I mean, I'll have a real guitar Q&A. Consider subscribing to my Patreon and ask me that question on Patreon. All the things. And I definitely got you. So, let's do it. Any other questions that I saw on here? I wasn't expecting this to be a guitar Q&A. I was really just planning on playing until it was time for me to leave. But my fiance ain't say it was time to leave yet. Yep. I'm glad y'all love my story. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Nice spelling. The circle of fifths is just playing within 5 notes and not going out of them. Not necessarily. Circle of fifths is helping you learn how many notes or how many sharps are in a scale. Tips for hybrid picking. Tips for hybrid picking. Do it. Just keep doing it until it gets comfortable. And learn some songs that have it. You know what I'm saying? And you'll just get better with it. You don't need to do it all the time. Oftentimes people do it in order to place chords, like very spread chords over their strings. Very spread out chords. Like if you're going to play specific strings, or if you're going to play melodically, you still have the pick in order to play the melodies. But just learn songs that use hybrid picking. I recommend just looking up a song that has hybrid picking and keep learning songs. There's actually so many approaches in order to actually practice. So I wouldn't know how to give you the best approach to answer that question. There's really 4 approaches, and I just recorded a video about this. I didn't edit it or post it yet, but I'm gonna edit it later. When it comes to practicing, like I'm interested in what type of person y'all are when y'all practice, if y'all are actually playing guitar or playing any instrument. Do you practice by learning songs? Do you like pick up the instrument and go on YouTube and look up how to learn this song, how to play this song on guitar, or whatever you're doing? Or do you practice is number 1 by learning songs? That's number 1. Or do you look up how to do this technique? Are you a technique learner? Are you sitting there looking up how to play properly, how to do the 3 notes per string method, or how to hybrid pick, or how to play harmonics? Or is that what you're looking up when you're actually practicing? Or are you, that's number 2. Number 1 is learning songs. Number 2 is technique. Number 3, are you looking up music theory? How to understand music? Why does this chord make sense? What are scale degrees? What are intervals? What are inversions? Why does this chord progression work? What are chord progressions? That's music theory. Are you a more theoretical person in your practice, and do you like to look at those things and try to implement it on the guitar? Or do you like technique, which is number 2, or do you like learning songs, which is number 1? Number 3, obviously, is music theory. Number 4, do you like experimenting? I'm number 4 all day. I experiment, I jam, I pick up the guitar and I just play the first thing that comes to my mind. Some people though, they want me to play songs they recognize. And I don't feel like playing the songs that you recognize. I just wanna play. So I might pick up the guitar and just play something random. like to experiment, but that's because after years of playing, I stopped wanting to learn songs. Because learning songs, after I learned the song, I didn't feel like there was much more to do. And granted, there is always much more to do after learning songs. Like, you can learn different ways of playing the song, different chord shapes, different ways of embellishing the melody. You could always fine tune it. You can listen to covers. You can make your own rendition. But making your own rendition isn't learning the song anymore. That's experimenting. Um, I used to really like theory, and I studied music theory in college, and I still love theory to this day. Like, it has to make sense. Music has to make sense. And when I'm sitting here listening to any song, when I do have to learn songs, or when I just listen to music in passing, all I do is study the song. Like, I'm sitting here trying to dissect the rhythm, trying to dissect the chord progression, and I'm invoking my theoretical knowledge onto the song, which makes me not even really like to listen to the song anymore. Like, all I'm doing is just, like, I'm not listening to the song anymore. I'm just studying. So I'm not really a theory person anymore. My number one, what I do the most is experiment. Number two is practice technique. Because if I see a professional guitarist or anybody playing something that's very interesting and I like the way that they do it, I try to do it for myself. I'm like, okay, I like that. That's a technical skill that I need to gain. Like, how did they just do that harmonic riff? And now I'm sitting there practicing techniques, you know what I'm saying? So, uh, what I say was first? I feel weird talking to myself, even though I'm talking to y'all on the live. For me, experimenting is my number one. I like to experiment. I like to play the first thing that comes to my mind, jam, plug in my guitar, play to a looper, find a random backing track and just improv away, or hop with my friends and we just all playing our instruments and experimenting. And I'm pretty sure if y'all seen any of my live sessions before, you've seen us jam and just experiment. It's kind of fun. So that's my number one. Technique is my number two. Then I guess theory would be my number three, just because I do it so often and I like interesting stuff that makes me think things are different. Like Willow Smith, her Tiny Desk, top tier, because like her songs aren't just in one time signature or one key signature. They're always moving around, so it really gets me thinking and gets me really understanding and dissecting, which makes me like her song that much more. And then, you know, learning songs is the last thing that I like to do, just because songs don't inspire me anymore. I feel like I could learn a song like that, listening to a song a couple takes and I'm already playing it. So yeah, but that's how I approach practice. That's how I like to think about things. So even when I'm explaining things to you, I like to think about how you approach things so that I understand how to better answer that question. So on that question of any tips for hybrid picking, it's really like, are you a technique person? Do you really want to understand the tips? Or do you want some songs for recommendation for you to practice to it? Or do you want to understand like why hybrid picking is really even possible, so that you can understand the theoretical aspect of it? Like, not just the technique of it itself, but like what songs, what chords, not songs, what chords, what licks, what hybrid picking really be used for, because of the way how the guitar is built and the music theory aspects of it. Or the answer that I gave was just keep experimenting until it gets clean for you. Now I'm talking about, I'm finna get a bottle of water. Hood rich. I think I'm gonna go for a cold one. I know what I mean when I'm saying I'm finna get a cold one. Gotta drink water. All this talking. Yep. Keep playing and chasing a dream. Indeed, appreciate you. Is music my job, or is it more of a hobby now? Well, it started as a hobby. Now it's all that I accept to do. I refuse to do anything else. Like, absolutely refuse. I've never had a job that was not music related. even to the point where I want my music to speak so much for me that I don't even really have to continue to work as much as I want to. Like, the biggest thing that I didn't like about it being my hobby is I was investing so much money into it and not really seeing a return. Like, I bought so much music equipment, studio equipment, and my friends used to try to come over my house and record and all these things. And then I would charge them, but from time and time again, but like the amount that I was charging them versus the amount that I put into actually studying this and uh, investing in this, it didn't equate. So I finally started getting paid from this by teaching private lessons, by doing gigs, by selling beats, by doing all the things. But when I wasn't doing those things, I weren't getting paid. So I got bored with it. I'm trying to figure out the best source of passive income. Passive income is where it's at, making money while, by not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people would say streaming is the way. Streaming is a source of passive income for musicians, or having merchandise and selling it, but you still have to actively sell it and package it and do all the things. Streams don't make you no money. Like back in the day when it was digital sales, digital downloads, you know, before Livewire, and when people really had respect for purchasing the artist's craft, that was when I probably would be more on the artistry side, where I'm like writing these songs and recording these songs and dropping them and things of that nature. So when it comes to like experimenting, I would say that's a hobby for me. When it comes to teaching, I would say that's a business. That's the musical aspect. What do I play? The six strings, primarily neo soul, R&B, a little bit of gospel, trombone. I produce. I sing in the shower. Only in the shower. I figured you meant genre. But I was just being childish. But yeah, music is more so my career. It started as a hobby, then it turned into my career, just because I really love this. Like, there's nothing else I'd rather be doing. But now I want it to be my retirement. You know what I'm saying? I want to retire early based off of music. And it can happen. I'm just tired of doing gigs. I'm tired of street performing. I'm tired of teaching. And when I'm not doing those things, I'm not getting paid. So I'm really trying to, I would hope more people would sign up to my Patreon and support me and support my journey so that I wouldn't have to actually actively be doing it all the time. Now, I wouldn't have y'all sign up for nothing. Obviously, you're going to be still seeing me do it. But it's the active aspects. Like, if I'm not playing in front of drunk people leaving a football game, I'm not making money. Or if I'm not waiting for my paycheck to come in from my 9-to-5 job where I'm teaching high schoolers how to play guitar, then I'm not making money. So it's like, I'm trying to make this make sense. You ready? Look like it's about that time. I told y'all I was gonna be hopping off this live sooner than later. Well, peace out, Girl Scouts. Hold it down, Cub Scouts. I'm gonna go make a late night drive to pick up some equipment. Take care. Watch my live. Sign up for my Patreon. Subscribe, like, comment, subscribe. Tell your grandma, tell Lottie Dottie and everybody that I am teaching you how to play guitar, and you should also learn with you. They should also learn with you. Anywho, peace out. Hold it down.